Hey everyone, I'm Harris O'Malley from DrNerdLove.com, and gentlemen, I have a question. How many times have you seen someone? Maybe it was in class, maybe it was at a party, maybe it was at the bar, maybe it was at the mall. All you know is they were amazing, they were gorgeous, they were everything that you wanted in a partner, and you wanted to just go up and talk to them, just if nothing else, so that you could say you tried. And you froze because you didn't know what to do or what to say. This is an incredibly common issue. In fact, it's one of the things that comes up a lot in my clients and in the people I help. If this happens to you, you are clearly not alone. The good news is you're overthinking it. The bad news is you're overthinking. You don't need the perfect opening line to talk to somebody. You don't need the perfect excuse. It doesn't really matter what words you say. All you're trying to do is get the conversation started. That is the easiest thing in the world if you don't make things more complicated than they need to be. But before we get started in what to do, let's take a few minutes to talk about what not to do. If you're new to this, if you're a little bit shy, if you're a little bit awkward, odds are good that you have been worried about being a creep, that you're going to go up and talk to somebody that you're really interested in, and what's going to start with a lovely, "Hi, my name is going to end with you getting maced, rolling on the floor, and thrown into jail. Now you're going to have to move out of your city because, quite frankly, everybody knows your shame." In reality, this doesn't happen. In fact, 9 times out of 10, what you say doesn't matter quite as much as how you make them feel. Now, with that in mind, there are a few times where it's generally not a good idea to try to approach someone or start a conversation with. The first is on public transport. Yeah, I know, you take it every day, there are people on there that you would love to invite out for coffee. The fact of the matter is, whether it is the subway, the bus, the muni, whatever, people who are on public transport are trying to just get to their job and go throughout their day with minimal amount of hassle. They haven't had enough coffee, they don't want to be going into work, they'd really rather be asleep. The last thing they want to do is make a new friend. If someone is if someone is interested in talking to you, if they want to have a conversation, they'll let you know. Now is not the time to try to strike things up with that cute stranger. The second is when they're walking down the street. Now, this is admittedly an iffy proposition. There are times, if you are socially skilled, that you can actually start a conversation with somebody who is out going about their day. But more often than not, someone who is out on the street in the middle of the day is trying to get somewhere, and they want to do so as quickly and efficiently as possible, and that means they don't have time to stop and talk to a stranger. It may help to think about all the times that you have been going down the street and somebody has wanted to give you their mixtape or they wanted to get your signature on something.
Yeah, can I get your signature? Dude, do you have time to help the children? It's to help the children. It's for the children. Sir, can we get your phone number? Can we get your donation? Why do you not have time to help the children? Sir, can you come back? Sir.
You want to do whatever it is that you're going off to do. You don't want these people getting in your way. So it is with the person that you're interested in. They want to get to wherever it is they're going, and you are just another person trying to offer them their mixtape. Don't be that guy. And finally, the third is when someone is wearing headphones. When someone's wearing headphones, it's because they're sending the world a very specific message. They don't want to talk to you. What they want to do is they want to listen to their podcast, their music, their Duolingo lesson, whatever, not to the stranger who just showed up. Gentlemen, do yourself a favor. Never go up to a woman who has headphones on and do this or this. And for the love of God, gentlemen, never pull out their earbuds. Having heard all of this, some of you are probably kind of freaking out a little bit and thinking like, oh God, I am never going to approach anyone ever. Don't worry. I've included links to my article, 5 Signs That Women Want You to Approach Them, in the show notes. But also, I want to give you the key to knowing how and when to approach somebody. And that is very simply building up your social calibration so that you understand the social context of the situation. The social context, simply put, are the unwritten rules that govern the expected behavior in any particular situation. If you are at a bar, if you're at a party, it is generally accepted that strangers are going to go up to one another, introduce themselves, mix, mingle, and get to know each other. It is part of the contract that you have agreed to by being there. On the other hand, this sort of behavior is a little out of place at your local Publix or Whole Foods. Most people are there for their groceries, not for casual conversation with someone they don't know. The social context dictates what kind of approach you may want to take to meeting people. if you do so at all. In general, there are two ways to start a conversation. What is generally known as the opener. There is direct and indirect. Direct openers are straight and to the point. You're being upfront with your intentions and very clear about what it is you're looking for. Indirect openers, on the other hand, are a little more oblique. You're not lying or misleading anyone, but you're using more of a believable pretext to get the conversation started. Now, personally, if I'm hoping to get to know somebody, I like to go direct, especially if I'm hoping to get their number, get a date. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's to the point, there's not much confusion later, and it gets the tone across immediately. Also, it's just a simple introduction. It is literally, hi, you seem like you're really cool, and I just wanted to get to know you. Hi, my name is. Or, for that matter, hey, you know what? I don't normally do this, but I wanted to come over and just tell you, I think your tattoos are amazing. Or even, my friend Jack tells me that you work at Pixar, so I really wanted to ask you a few questions about that. Now, indirect openers are a little more versatile. It's a lot easier to use them in a wider variety of situations, especially ones where you're not normally going to be meeting people. It's also way less intimidating to use an indirect opener to approach somebody than it is to simply just go up and introduce yourself, especially if you're a little bit shy or if you're unused to meeting people. There are a number of ways that you can use an indirect opener. One of the most popular is what is known as the opinion opener. If you've ever read Neil Strauss's The Game, you'll have heard of things like the jealous girlfriend or the who lies more opener.
Hey, can I get an opinion? My friends and I have been arguing about something all night, and we are just deadlocked, and we need an outsider to kind of break the tie here. Who do you think lies more, men or women?
You can also ask for information.
Hey, do you know where I can find a Starbucks around here? Hey, do you know where the nearest ATM is?
Or, my personal favorite,
Can I ask you a random question? Do you know how to cook this?
Hey, can I ask you something? I don't normally approach strangers this way, but I wanted to know, where did you get those earrings? You see, my sister has a birthday coming up, and honestly, I need to get her a present.
Incidentally, gentlemen, I recommend that unless you are purely practicing your social skills, don't make stuff up for an indirect opener. Finding out that your sister who's having a birthday doesn't actually exist kinda puts a damper on things. You can also ask for a favor. Asking something like, hey, did you get the notes for Professor Sutcliffe's lecture on the Trumpeter of Krakow? Cool, can I borrow them from you? This is a perfectly legitimate reason to strike up a conversation with your classmate. You can even use a situational observation.
Hey, I haven't heard this song in forever.
Dude, did you see the fight that broke out outside?
It can be literally anything. It could be something absurd. You're very tall. Or you could just leap right in. Hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear, but incidentally, at parties, if the person you want to talk to is in a group, it is considered perfectly acceptable to go up and join the conversation. Just go, listen, wait for your opportunity, add your opinion, and then get to know everybody. Hey, how do you guys know everyone? At the end of the day, all you're doing is getting the conversation started. That is ultimately all that matters. But starting the conversation is literally just the first step. You want to keep it going. You want to make sure that the conversation works for you and you get a discussion going rather than just getting a polite dismissal. The key to remember is that starting a conversation is a process. It is open, transition, connection. You start the conversation with your opener, whether it is direct or indirect. You transition into the actual conversation. The introduction. Hey, my name is. Now you're getting to know them instead of getting hung up on whatever excuse you used to start the conversation in the first place. And then you connect with them. You want to get to know them. What's their history? What brought them here? What's their story? That is key. The reason why Tom Cruise is so famously charismatic is that he is famous for making anybody feel like the most fascinating person in the world. No matter what they do, whether they are a stewardess or a studio mogul, he makes them feel like he could listen to them all day. And that is why people like him. Most of the time, we end up talking to someone who is just waiting for their turn to talk, and usually about them. The times that we find someone who is interested in us and what we think and what we have to say is incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. We love the chance to talk to someone who wants to know about us. When we find someone who wants to know what we think and what we have to say and finds us riveting, that person is like gold to us. Remember, your attention and interest in someone is a gift. So, give it to them. Get to know them. Ask questions. Find ways to connect with them. How can you relate to them? What do you have in common? How many times can you find a reason to say, yes, exactly? No, I totally get it. You are so right. Oh, you're the first person I've met who gets this. Share a little bit about yourself, and then use their answers as a springboard to your next question. Remember, it's not about what you say, it's about how you make them feel. The more they feel like you get them and that they can talk with you for hours, the more they feel like they have just met you, but you feel like they've known you forever, the more they're gonna like you. And they'll be glad that you're the one who came up to talk to them. Hey, thanks for checking out the episode. Show notes are below. Be sure to check them out because I have links to my columns. If you want to take your dating life to the next level, be sure to check out my book. They're available in print. They're available on Kindle. Links right there. Go check them out. And if you do, be sure to leave a review on Amazon or Goodreads. It's a huge help. If you're enjoying the series, you want to support it, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/drnerdlove. Even $1 a month is a huge help. And I will be back with you again with more about love, sex, dating, and just being a better man. Later.